Good everyone, organization. Today we have a premium series episode on the Chinese H-81 A-2, also known as the P-40B. This is an aircraft that was very well hyped when it initially first came around and was originally a pack vehicle. Now, of course, it's a G premium. I don't know how much this thing actually costs because, well, I've had it. I actually got gifted this plane by a subscriber of mine back when I only had around, I think, 100 subscribers or something like that. And yeah, it's it's very surprising that I actually got given this plane by that specific subscriber. His name's Moxie. He's been around the channel since it pretty much started. And I remember him just off, like, he had a spare one because he bought it for a friend who didn't end up wanting it. And he pretty much just messaged me on Discord and was like, hey, I don't need this pack. Do you want it? And I was like, well, I'll be more than happy to cover it in a first flight, which I used to do. I don't do those anymore. A review, and I even promised a premium series eventually. So here you go, Boxy. I still didn't forget that. So there you go. Obviously, we've had a lot of other nations to cover, but I did promise you, and I don't break promises. That's one thing for sure. So as I said, the H-81A2 is a P-40B, and the differences between a regular P-40 and it is shall we say, it is obviously not a meta aircraft, but it does still have quite a good few characteristics for its low tier capability. Obviously, the engine is an Allison V1710. It's not exactly powerful, and it's not really going to get as much in terms of climb rates, top speed initially. Obviously, in the dive and stuff, we can easily outdive a lot of the stuff we'll get into, but in some cases we won't. But unlike the P40s that you might be used to, for example, the P40E, all of our guns are not in the wings. Our guns are located splitly, in a way, is the word I would call it. We have two 30 cals in each wing. Two of them having 500 rounds, two of them having 480 rounds. And then we have two 50 caliber machine guns up in the top, the engine cowling area, with 235 rounds of ammo, which isn't bad. But obviously, comparing it to the P40E, the P40E obviously has not only a better engine, but also better firepower. But you see, this is exactly what a premium should be. It should be something that is lower in capability, but has more efficiency for grinding. But that's not to be said this plane's bad. This plane is actually pretty good. Obviously, the armor is still pretty normal for the US aircraft, and we do still have access to a bomb should we need it. Obviously, we don't have access to wing 100-pound bombs. That came in the E models, not the B models. And obviously, the C model, which is available in the US tech tree, but only on the marketplace. But anyway, let's get in and let's get cracking. This will be a interesting one because the meta has it's one of those things really, like it's a good plane, but it's not meta. Like it's solid, but against a lot of the 3.3 planes we're gonna really struggle. Like Kai 44s, we don't really have a hope in hell against. There's no sugarcoating it. The Kai 44, which is a extremely dangerous aircraft, is very competitive and is arguably one of the most powerful this sort of tier aircraft we can run into. And, well, I don't really want to meet those, but, well, I don't have a bloody choice, do I? So looking at this, we are in a 3.3 match, so we are going to have a bit of a trouble. But of course, we're just going to have to try and see how the H-81 does. I'm not going to call it a P-40B from this point on. I'm going to address it how it should be. But this aircraft, of course, if you've looked at the, obviously the face on the front of it, obviously not the Angel of Death part, that's a bit I put on. But this, of course, is the Flying Tigers P-40 and is, well, I mean, I could explain it to you, and I'll give you a brief description, but if you want it more in depth, there's loads of documentaries out there about it. But essentially, this was a bunch of Chinese volunteer pilots, and obviously the Chinese did fly these as well. And they took the fight to the Japanese before the Americans properly joined the war. And this was one of the aircraft that was obviously sent across. And obviously it's decorated in a Chinese paint job, and of course they taught them how to fly the aircraft, and they had really good success. Like, obviously they did take losses, everyone takes losses in a war, it's just how war works. But in the end, it did of course benefit obviously the Chinese Air Force, because they learned experience, but also it gave the Americans an early advantage, so to speak, against some of the Japanese aircraft that they were running into, such as the bombers, the Nates, and things like that. And obviously eventually these aircraft did meet Zeros, so it was the stepping stone, really, and that's really what it was. Anywho, since it's going to take us a few minutes to get to the match, I'm definitely going to avoid those DB7s like the plague on the way up. I will see you all in a few minutes. Well, welcome back. You joined me up at around 11,000 feet, which is where we lose quite a bit of performance. As you can tell, large majority of my team are being bomber zombies. Vast majority of their team have slaughtered most of mine. And we're now at an altitude where this engine not only starts to lose a lot of performance, but just starts to wheeze, because the old Allison doesn't exactly have a reputation for, shall we say, high altitude performance. It's more of a lower altitude engine, and obviously the P-39 series of aircraft did have a similar engine. The P-38E does also have this issue, but obviously later down the line the P-38 got better engines, so yeah. So obviously, looking at how it's going at the minute, we need to deal with these high altitude threats. I don't want to leave a C-202 up here. I'm not too bothered about the I-16 because I can outdive that, but I definitely don't want to leave an freaking 202 up here unattended. But since the I-16 is closer, we're going to kill him first. Get nice and close. My aim's appalling, which is nothing new for a Sleepy Joe. I think I got his engine, so I'm going to go for the 202. Which is more of an important target. There we go. Yeah, the I-16's engine is dead. Good. Condor is okay for the moment, but well, as I said, we've got our work cut out for us here. I think the I-16's engine is dead, I'm not sure. He is sticking it up, but no, he still has the engine power, surprisingly. I shoved some 50s in that. That should be dead. Keeping an eye around me is going to be something I need to do, because I'm kind of on my own here. I mean, we do have two other teammates, but it's not looking good for us, let's put it that way. So the I-16's best choice here would be to dive away. He won't be able to outdive me, but that's not the point. I'm going to try and finish him up with the 30s here, if I can. There we go. Burn some 50s, but it's more than worth it to do with a single I-16. Because, well, they are little shits if you leave them unattended. Okay, so the Kai-61 would be my next target, but this Ollie FC geezer, he's been clubbing quite hard with his body, so he is going to be next. There's no sugarcoating it. Then it's going to be the Nicky. But I want the MiG gone first, because the MiG not only is an idiot, but also the MiG made more sense in that situation there. Now, obviously, we are employing boom and zoom tactics and obviously energy fighting tactics. That's what the P-40s tended to use, both IRL and work best in-game. And that's exactly what I plan to do. So now that we've cleared up what appears to be a good portion of their team, we now have to deal with this geezer, which I'm not looking forward to fighting a Kai-61 in this plane. Let's put it this way, it ain't simple. Not only does he have a performance advantage, but He has a turn rate advantage, dives roughly the same as we do, has better guns than we do. Do I need to say any more? We're probably dead here. So I'm going to see if he'll attack me whilst going for the bomber. And I'm going to have to force ahead on here. I don't want to. It's a co, so it doesn't have as many good guns as us, but it's still got better guns than we do. There's no sugarcoating it. And, well, he also has a better engine than we do. Yeah, he pretty much fucks us. There's no polite way of putting it. He just completely balls us over. I think I got his engine. Yep, his engine's dead. But, well, we've got a K-61 on our tail. And with a team that just loves to go after the first thing they can see, there's not a huge amount we can do. So I'm going to try and force a reversal here. But it's not going to be easy. Where's he gone? Lost him in the camera. There we go. Camera sometimes is a bit unforgiving. I think he's trying an energy trap, but it's not going to work. I'm being a bit heavy on the trigger, but I kind of have to be. We're almost out of 50 cal. I think I got the engine. I'm not sure. But he's struggling. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. That's the ticket. Beautiful job, girl. That's how we do it. Good girl. We got very lucky in that engagement. Had he just stuck into a turn fighting scenario, we would have been dead. No sugarcoating it. Like, he definitely ballsed up there. Okay, I think we've earned a trip back to base. We're gonna head back to base, grab some more bullets, probably a bomb, and I will see you all shortly. Well, welcome back. We are currently going towards some ground targets right now. The I-16 that we crit earlier on in the dogfight, he did end up crashing, so we did get the kill for that. So we're now up to 6 aircraft destroyed, not 5. So we are an ace +1. I'm saving the 50s in case the Firecrest come back, which looks like he is. He's coming back for another round. He did bin it, I don't know how, but he did crash, and now we're going to have to deal with him once I get rid of this bomb. He's pretty much sat with his thumb up his arse after farming some fire boats, so yeah, pretty normal for a Firecrest player half the time, but, you know, that's just what it is, really. No, saw that coming, son. So the Firecrest is very, very fast. It's also got pretty okay guns. The problem is as I said, he has a speed advantage. The B-34 is trying to bring him towards me, which is good. But we're probably just going to have to force the head on here. There we go. That's 7 kills. I'm surprised we won that match, to be really honest. That did cost us our engine and our water system, but, well, considering we finished up the game, I think that's more than worth it. And that is what a single player can do if you take your time and patience to climb a little bit. But, well, there was quite a bit of luck involved in that. And we get a box. What's in the box? It better not be what I think it is. And it is a... Oh, really? You could have given me the 70,000. I would have complained at that. But, well, an extra 5,000 SL on top of the 48,000 that we get. Not a bad result at all. So as I said, this isn't exactly a meta aircraft in any way stretch of the imagination, but it is capable. If you set it up right, it can definitely do some work, and obviously if you focus on the more meta aircraft that are in the match and you have an altitude advantage, you're basically golden. Like, obviously, it's not guaranteed. Like, we was not guaranteed to win that Kai-61 fight. He should have definitely whooped our ass. He hugely misplayed that. But hopefully he learns from that, and, well, yeah. This just proves how good this aircraft is. If you can get this thing on a sale, I'd absolutely recommend it. If you already own this thing, give her a drag out. Like, go take this bird out. I think she owns it. But anyway, I'm going to let you all off for today. I will see you all on the next one.